Hey, Eastern Michigan family and friends. My name is Taquanda. I serve as the social media strategist here at Eastern Michigan University in the DivCom Department, Division of Communications. And welcome back to our Welcome Back EMU Safe series. Well, we are excited about speaking with the individual that I will soon bring up so you guys can get to know him just a little bit better. But before we do that, again, welcome to our Welcome Back series, where we share a little bit about our department and ease the transition for our students, faculty, staff, as well as parents as we gear up to welcome our students back on campus. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. We are interviewing today my good friend, Lucas, from Campus Life and Orientation. So welcome, Lucas, to the broadcast. We're excited about having you today.
Thank you, Taquanda. I'm happy to be here.
So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about EMU, or what formerly known as EMU Orientation. It's now Emu Connect. We're going to talk about Campus Life and all the resources available at Campus Life. But before we get started, everybody knows if you are a returner, you know our disclaimer. Again, we are talking about EMU Safe as well as Welcome Back. So if your questions are not pertaining to today's conversation regarding Campus Life as well as orientation, we're going to ask for you to reframe them or go on ahead and shoot us an email, social_media@emich.edu, and we will be able to transfer those questions over to the respective departments as well as getting the answers for you. Also, you can drop them in the comment box. We may not address them on this live, but we will address them later. So again, your concern is our concern, but we ask that you send that concern through an email so that way we can go on ahead and we can address those accordingly. So Lucas, now I know who you are. We've been rocking together for a very long time. So would you like to share with everyone, our audience today, exactly who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Taquanda mentioned, Lucas, and I am the director of Campus Life at EMU. And so what that means, Campus Life is the department that oversees a lot of what happens outside of the classroom, starting with orientation and the Emu Connect experience that you'll have in just a few days if you're a new student, but also engagement in activities, events, student organizations, fraternities and sororities, and a whole bunch of other events and activities that we do for students. So that's who I am and what Campus Life does.
Now, Lucas, a lot of folks don't know you're an alum.
I am an alum. I won't say how long ago, but
you sound like me.
Yeah, I am an alum of EMU and currently a student in the PhD program.
That is absolutely great. So I like to say Lucas lives, breathes, sleeps this thing and the culture of what EMU is all about. And I love working with him because he understands the method to all of our madness, as I always say. So we're going to tap into a little bit of the questions that we've been getting and folks have been asking. We figure, you know what, we'll bring the man on himself to talk a little bit about that. So if you're watching through Facebook, go on ahead and share this broadcast with your friends and your family on your timeline, because you may have somebody who's coming to Eastern. Believe it or not, yesterday, Lucas, like my aunt FaceTimed me and she says, hey, you know my girlfriend such and such? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, her niece is moving in on Friday. All of a sudden gives the phone to her. And I had this whole conversation with a new incoming freshman. So I thought it was really cool. So you never know who may be on your timeline. So go on ahead and hit that share button on Facebook. Also make sure that you hit the retweet on Twitter, because we are broadcasting to Twitter right now. And if you are on YouTube, we love our subscribers. We want you to become a subscriber. So go on ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so that you can be made known anytime when Eastern uploads a video or when we go live. So let's tap into those questions, Lucas. One of the burning things I want to get into is orientation before we start talking about Campus Life. Sure. So orientation, well, formerly known as orientation, formerly known as First 3, right? Like now it's this new name called like Emu Connect. And So let's talk a little bit about like how the name evolved, and also like what is EMU Connect? What can students expect as far as coming on? I know there's some folks who are moving in on Thursday, and then there's some people who are moving in on Friday as well as into the weekend. So let's kick it about EMU Connect and what that really is.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you're right. It's had some name changes, and most recently we rebranded to align what it is more with what it's called. And so EMU orientation is the experience students have when they get advised for classes. And for most students, that has already happened. But EMU Connect is what's coming up this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for new students. And that is an opportunity for students to connect to other students. Each new student has a group virtually. Most of the programming is virtually. We'll have a group with an upperclassman Connect group leader that's going to help them navigate all of your questions about getting started at EMU and navigate the Connect program as well, connect you to resources throughout the program, connect you to the EMU community, and connect you to understanding what the expectations are of you as a member of that community now. So I mentioned part of that is virtual. Most of that is virtual, unfortunately, because of the situation we've been in.
Yeah.
Opportunities for students to be in person. So the first is a hypnotist on August 27th at 7 p.m. in the Student Center. And then on August 29th, we're going to have a drive-in movie. We're going to be showing Black Panther.
Nice.
EMU Convocation Center. I think this might have been the first time I've announced that movie title. So you all are the first to know.
Hey, we got the exclusive, everyone.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I love the fact. So, I'm dating myself, and Lucas already knows this. Like, I used to be an orientation group leader. So I remember the fact of, before we got hit with this good old pandemic, like the aspect and the energy about being a group leader, right? And how literally life transforming it is to work with individuals. And one of the reasons why I even became a group leader when I was in undergrad was because of my experience with my group leader when I first came in as a freshman. And even now, there are some individuals that I still connect with. Even the fact of me graduating and then, coming back and work for the university and such, like, you'll be surprised, like, those connections that you make when you first get in. And even virtually, if any of our new students are watching or parents are watching, like, virtually, you can still make those connections. And I really feel like it's important for us to stress that, like, how those connections are being made even virtually due to the pandemic.
Glenn, you're absolutely right. I also have friends from my orientation group back in 1998. Okay, I'll date myself there.
2000 years, so I'm with you.
And people that I still follow on Facebook and occasionally get together with. So absolutely, the things that through orientation and through all the things Campus Life does, that's a big part of what our outcomes are, is just to help you make those connections so that you can experience college not alone, right? So with a community, and that's the first opportunity to do that. And you're right, our orientation leaders, they're volunteers. They really want to help our newest Eagles be successful, make those connections, and they give up. They're in training right now. So today, tomorrow, and Thursday, those group leaders are in training, and then they'll hit the ground running with their groups on Friday.
So I know previously, and I don't know if this is going to be the case, but previously when it came to the group leaders and such, I know that we normally have the convocation where they get their groups and things like that. And I'm under the understanding that all of that will be done virtually, this year, as far as what that looks like. Does that also include like the experience that individuals used to get, like when they moved in, like, how when there used to be like some orientation leaders there, at some of the residence halls and such, like, will that still be taking place too?
So one of the sad things is we are trying our best to not put more bodies in spaces than we need to. We can feel comfortable and safe. So our orientation group leaders, our Connect group leaders, aren't going to be buzzing around the residence halls just to kind of reduce the congestion in the halls and make it easy for people to move in. So you will not see them there, but you will see them throughout the semester. So hopefully your Connect group leaders will be folks that you can still connect with and reach out to when you have questions throughout the semester as well.
I love that. And I think that was key, like, for folks to know, like, hey, this isn't just, a 3 or 4 day situation. Like, we are going to make sure that those leaders are connecting with you throughout the semester and then, later on in the year. So that's really important for students to know.
Yeah. And then hopefully they just become your friend, right?
Yes.
And it's just one more person that you know at EMU.
I love it. I love it. So now we talked a little bit about some of the experiences that they can expect as far as Emu Connect. So, of course, the virtual aspects, like, we understand that Zoom fatigue is real, but we want to make sure that you lean in and tap into some of those programmings that will be happening through Zoom, as well as, through Zoom during the time that we're doing EMU Connect. So make sure that you are tapping into that. But then also there is like a transfer in an international side of things too. So I know that you're very aware of what's going on as far as that. So if we have any transfer students or international students, like, how can we help them concerning the orientation process as well?
Yeah, so we do have an online orientation for transfer students and for new students. But we always have a handful of transfer students that they really want to get introduced to Eastern and what Eastern has to offer and all the resources. And so if there is a transfer student listening and you want to participate in EMU Connect, you are welcome to. Just reach out to our office, email us at orientation@emish.edu, and we will make sure to put you into a group and get you plugged into all of the Connect goodness. And then for international students, they actually have their own orientation. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, if you're an international student watching, you've already got information from our Office of International Students and Scholars for the United Orientation for International Students. If you have questions about that, you can reach out to OISS, Office of International Students and Scholars, and they will help you out.
Awesome. So is there anything that we're doing for students who are actually coming in? Honestly, I hate to call them this, but freshmen, sophomores, meaning that, they're in their second year, but this is their first time on campus, and I can vouch for that. There's been a couple of folks that have reached out and said, like, hey, this is my sophomore year, but I wasn't on campus last year due to COVID. So do we have anything planned for those individuals? Have they been, invited to EMU Connect?
Well, so they had a version of orientation last year, but we definitely understand that any sophomores watching, and frankly, some juniors might have forgotten some things, right? And the question's still out there. And so you do not have to be a first-year student to reach out to our office for questions or support throughout the semester. So if you don't know where else to go, orientation@emish.edu is the place to go. We will help answer your questions. Like Taquana said earlier, we'll find the right person to connect you with to get you what you need. And then Campus Life, our programming throughout the semester is for everybody. And we're going to do our best to do as much of that as possible so you have more opportunities to be able to connect, knowing that it's been a while since you've been able to do that.
I love it. I love it. So we have a question from Bella over at Facebook. Hey, Bella. And she's asking us, what parts of EMU Connect are required?
Yeah, so technically it's all mandatory. And we understand that there are going to be some obstacles to that. And Taquana mentioned Zoom fatigue, and that's real too. But it is really important that you get the information that we're trying to provide for you. We're going to try and record some sessions, but you and I both know when you go to something like this, you're probably not going to go back and watch the recordings. So tune in and be there with the groups. And hopefully you meet your group, you're having a good time, and you want to be there.
Yeah.
And you can do it from the comfort of your home. I should also mention, if you're living on campus, Connect is also how you get your meals. So we'll be feeding folks in our Bowen Field House. You should be getting a wristband when you check in your residence halls. That's your ticket in to get your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout Connect. And commuters, we are putting $50 worth of flex on your cards. If you happen to be on campus, you can spend it on the open campus EMU dining vendors. But if you're not on campus and you're doing Connect virtually, you can spend that money to try out some dining throughout the fall.
I love it. I love it. So I want to head on over. So now that we talked about like EMU Connect, and we're really excited about the students coming on campus. So make sure that you're following EMU Connect and orientation through Instagram. I'm pretty sure they'll be putting up some things. You follow our social media We'll be going live during move-in, so you'll see some of that experience as well. So again, we're excited about Emu Connect, both the virtual as well as the in-person aspects this year. So I want to talk a little bit about campus life. Let's switch gears just a little bit. So I have a love beyond love for for campus life, and I think it stems from my involvement with orientation as well as the student orgs that I was a part of, while being on campus, and then also now being an advisor to two student orgs currently. Like, it literally is. Campus life is life changing, and it literally can. And there's so many different leadership aspects that you can receive from campus life. So I always say that there's about a couple of departments within Eastern that hold a very special place in my heart, and campus life is one of them. So let's talk a little bit about campus life and all the resources that they have available, because I can talk all day long about it, but I know that they want to hear from you. That's the reason why we got you here, Lucas.
Well, I'm going to recruit you to come start doing some promotion. Before I go into campus life, there's a question in the chat about finding out which Connect group you're in. Real quick, we're going to be sending out emails to be able to connect you with your groups. I keep using the word connect. It's a recurring theme here. We will be emailing you your groups. You'll be hearing from those Connect group leaders. And if for some reason you show up to the sessions on Friday and you still don't know what group you're supposed to be in, we will have a virtual help desk throughout the 3 days, and we'll also have time at the end of the session to make sure you're plugged in for the group time. So I love it. Great question.
Thanks for catching that one. Thanks for sending that over, Dwalo. We really appreciate it. So let's talk let's go into campus life and all that it has to offer.
Yep. So I kind of talked a little bit, but I'll talk more broadly. We've got engagement and activities. So we have Thursday night programming in the evenings. You can come out and build community. We got Friday night movies every Friday throughout the year. And again, because of the situation we're in, we've moved those outside. So we're going to have drive-ins and movies in the park for the Fridays through October. And then we'll move inside to the student center when weather won't let us be outside anymore. But we have a ton of great movies that we're planning to do. If you've never been to a drive-in, this is a great way to experience that. Sit in your car, turn on the right radio station and listen into the film, or get out in a camp chair and enjoy the night air. So programming like that. Our student orgs team supports anywhere from 150 to 250 student organizations, depending on the time of year. Mm-hmm. So we've got something for everybody to get involved in. And if by some chance your niche thing that you love is not within that, we can help you start your own organization. And we do that all the time too. So any questions you ever have, studentorgs@emish.edu is the place to email, and we'll take care of you, get you connected with a smaller sub-community that's a good fit for you. We also oversee fraternities and sororities. So if the kind of student organization you're looking for is that fraternity or sorority life experience, that's a place you can hit us up for as well. And then individual support. So any student who's just thinking, I feel disengaged, I don't know what to do, I want to get involved, you can reach out to us, you can come see us, and we'll help you navigate that.
So is there a way like online where there's a list of the student orgs that you mentioned? Because I know you said there's over 200 plus, student orgs, and is there a list somewhere that individuals can say, oh, you know what, I can go on ahead and reach out, and that's actually one of the Debbie, we're right along with you. Debbie's asking like, hey, where's that list of student orgs?
Yep. So if you go to emish.edu/EagleSync, Eagle SYNC, that is our sort of portal experience to check out the organizations that we have to offer. You can see all the ones that are in good standing with us there. And if you're around campus, on August 31st, you can do the in-person version of that. We're going to have our student org fair, Eagle Fest, in University Park and the Student Center patio. We're going to have a DJ and some games there and things to do. Elephant ears, some food truck situations going on there.
What day is that again? I just might have to just show up for the elephant ear.
Come on by. They're delicious. August 31st from 4 to 7 p.m. Come to Eagle Fest and check out all the student orgs that have tables there, sort of tell you what they're all about and why you might be interested.
Awesome. We love it. We love it. So Debbie, there you go. You can either get the in-person experience or you can check them out on EagleSync website, and it'll give you a full list of all the student orgs. And these are all the registered student orgs, correct, as far as for this new upcoming year?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. So someone's asking now, we're getting more into the events, and then we just saw something that popped up. Someone was asking about the family weekend. Like, is there going to be a family weekend?
That is a fabulous question. And I should have had plans in the audience, but I guess I don't need them. Family weekend this year is September 24th through the 26th. So if your family is interested in coming up to spend some time with you, you can visit emish.edu/families, and you will find a link there to be able to buy tickets for family weekend. And there's lots of options depending on what things you want to do with us. So you can go to the football game if you'd like. There's some tailgate action we're going to do for our families as well. There's going to be a 5K on Sunday if you'd like to participate in that, and lots of great things in between. So emish.edu/families.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So again, now we're still rolling in events, and we got another question from Sarah over on Facebook. And she says, for events such as the drive-in movie during orientation, will there be availability for students living on campus without vehicles to be bused to the event and still participate? So that's a really great question.
That is a good question. So we won't have buses, but you can carpool with the folks that you've met in your residence hall, hopefully your roommates. Or it is fairly easy to get to the Convocation Center. There's this great walking path out past the village that you can walk on down to the Convocation Center. But however you get there, you can either sit there in a car or bring a camp chair and hang out there. Residents are for sure welcome to join us.
All right. Well, I'm excited about all that there is as far as, big events that we're to look out for. So we talked about Family Weekend. Homecoming is in October. We got Eagle Fest going on August 31st. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff, happening. And I love the fact that we just don't cater just to residents, but we also cater to the commuter student too. Right, Lucas?
Yep. Every single thing we do is available for commuters too, and we hope you'll come and take advantage of that. I always think about college as you're buying a car, right? So you wouldn't buy a brand new car and never turn on the radio or the air conditioner or use the left door. You're going to use the whole car because you paid for it.
Right.
Like that. So take advantage of all of the things that we have to offer, every resource, every event you can come to. Because you're paying for it, you might as well get the most out of it. All of those movies, our Thursday night programs, we do some excursions off campus throughout the year, just things like Broadway at Detroit or the DIA or Cedar Point. And for the excursions are pretty much the only thing we charge for Family Weekend and the excursions, and we do it at a deeply discounted rate so students can afford to have those experiences. So take advantage of all of that. Absolutely, commuters. That's a really good point, Quinta.
All right. Well, I'm excited about this weekend as far as Emu Connect is concerned, and we're excited about welcoming students back on campus. I love the fact that we are most definitely keeping safety first when it comes to our students. As far as them coming back, again, we want to ease any type of fears or apprehensions or anxiousness or anything like that family or friends have as their students are coming back. But Lucas, thanks for kicking it with us today on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and talking to us a little bit about EMU Connect. And again, for those who may not have who have caught on to this a little bit later, we did address the fact that EMU Connect is most definitely, mandatory for students. We do understand that fatigue is real. So please, by all means, take your break, but jump right back on in, again. And there will be a hybrid of programming. Majority of them will be done virtually. And then there's a couple of events like the Hypnotist as well as the drive-in movie that will be in person. Am I missing anything, Lucas?
Well, gosh, we would do so much probably, but let me put in there because the question that I haven't seen yet is how do I find out about all of these events throughout the year?
Yes.
So we'll have flyers everywhere in the halls, in the classroom buildings, all that sort of thing. If you don't already have the EMU Engage app, I recommend download it. There's a tile in that app called What's Happening. You can find out about stuff there. And then I saw scrolling here our handle. You can follow Campus Life on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Snapchat, we're on Instagram, all the same at EMU Campus Life. And we'll post not only our events, but we also promote the things like the EMU social media does a great job of. We also try to promote the other departments that are doing things. So another great place to find out about events.
We love it. Love it, love it, love it. And again, if you're interested in any type of student orgs or anything like that, you can go to emich.edu/EagleSync for additional information there. Well, thank you, Lucas, for coming on the live today and talking a little bit about Campus Life and EMU Connect. I'm excited. I know I'll personally see you this week, but thank you for all you do. I know this year has been interesting as far as what we're dealing with this pandemic, but you've been doing it with a whole lot of grace. So thank you again for everything that you do here on campus for our students and even for our staff.
I appreciate you. Glad to be here anytime.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for watching. And if you're catching a replay, go on ahead and hit the comment box and say, I watched the replay, so that we can go on ahead and shout you out a little bit later. But again, thank you so much for everybody who's joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We will be back this fall with another series. We got some folks from the Wellness Center that's coming in. Athletics is coming in. UACDC. Everybody wants to get in on these lives, and we can't wait to have them as well as to have you back. So again, welcome to Eastern. Welcome to EMU Connect. We're excited about this year. Again, if you have any questions, go on ahead and hit us up in the comment box or shoot us an email at social_media@emich.edu. This is Taquanda and Lucas from Campus Life signing out. You guys have a great day. Bye.